methods. They are using formalin and embalming. Instead of using a cooler, which is a standard procedure for operating mortuaries. And the governor of the county government was saying this mortuary works because we are embalming. And yet, just to power the mortuary, which does not take too much money even if you needed to buy a generator or use the alternatives that Senator Nyonka is talking about. That is about responsibility in leadership. Here we are not talking about electricity, we are talking about lives. We are talking about someone requiring critical life support in West Pokot. So where will they end up? In Kitale. Because I hear that's where all the money goes to. Because Kitale perhaps has an ICU. And yet you receive money just like Trans Nzoia. Why should we burden neighboring counties when the solution to this problem can be found? It is within view. So, Governor, this matter is bigger than electricity. This is a matter of concern for the health and the well-being of your people. A matter that you've been in correspondence with Kenya Power since 2017. And they've given you some quotation there for 683,000. What was that quotation for? Kenya Power gave you a quote for 683,000.
Yeah.
What was that quote for?
For the upgrade of the...
Was the money paid?
Yeah, it has been paid.
Was the upgrade done?
It has been done.
You contracted Cherangany. You contracted a company called Cherangany Electricals at a cost of 2.9 million to supply, deliver, and install supply cable from powerhouse to ICU unit at Kapenguria Referral Hospital. Was that done?
It has now, as in my response, you know, there was a delay.
No, I'm talking about the documents in your pack. This contract agreement with Cherangany Electricals, has it been delivered?
Yes, it has been delivered.
So what is pending? If Kenya Power has delivered, if Cherangany Electricals have delivered, who has failed?
Yeah, there was that, I can say that part, you know, it was, the initial problem was upgrade, which has been done. And as I've said, the ICU is working, but not optimally. So the part which is remaining is that LV switchboard was required to be installed to allow the supply cable to the IC block.
Who is supposed to provide the LV switchboard? Kenya Power or the county government through a contractor?
It's the county government.
So why are we blaming Kenya Power in this matter?
They have done that part. That's why I've said, Chair.
So how long does it take, and what's the approximate cost of that LV switchboard? You've already spent 2.9 on Cherangany. You've already spent 680 on Kenya Power. That's already 3.5 million. How much is that LV switchboard? That is preventing the people of West Pokot from getting optimal ICU services.
It is not much, Chair.
Approximately? Because I'm sure someone has done the costing. If it's in your procurement plan. Is it in your procurement plan? If it's not in your procurement plan, then it means you are planning to kill the people of West Pokot further. This is not something you are blaming on the past administration, Governor. This is something where you must take responsibility and provide leadership. It's not in your procurement plan. So how will you do it if it's not in your procurement plan?
In my last submission, their response, I said the county will rebudget for the completion of the outstanding contract. And remember, Chair, I've said there are so many projects which get stalled.
No, Governor, ICU, the only ICU in West Pokot, the one and only ICU in West Pokot, it received equipment under the managed equipment scheme, which I think the health committee
8 years ago.
came to check. 8 years ago.
Was in the store.
To date, you are telling us about a switchboard that cannot be bought to optimize the ICU. Is that responsibility, Your Excellency?
Chair, maybe I didn't clarify well. We have an ICU which is working, but this was a casualty which I extended during my first term and it was left. So this is, if this one is connected, it will serve as the second ICU. And that is Chair.
The query here is Intensive Care Unit of Kapenguria County Referral Hospital. Governor, that is, for me, I find this extremely painful and I find it very, very insensitive. If one ICU cannot be operationalized because of a switchboard, we have debunked the myth that KPLC is to blame. Now it is squarely in your hands. You have no plan. You have no procurement plan to make the ICU work. Even if you inherited a mess, you have had 1.5 years to clean up the mess. An ICU is not a small thing. And it is for that reason that many of our colleagues in the National Assembly think that health should be returned to the national government. If counties cannot procure an LV switchboard to save the lives of citizens. I think don't look at this from a technical perspective, Governor. Look at it from the perspective of the women and children who require critical support in West Pokot. And they have to go to neighboring counties, and yet you also receive an equitable share. I think for me that is a pain. I'm seeing the human element to it. I'm not seeing the accounting thing. This must be a priority, and we want to hear how you're going to make this your priority so that from West Pokot, let them know that when the governor came to the Senate, he made a commitment that within 1 month, the ICU will be operational. You must give us a...
Chair, I want to say once more that I didn't say the ICU is not working. But I think I said it is not maximally. Because if you go to Kapenguria today or ask somebody, ICU is working.
I gave you the example of Isiolo. We dealt with that just last Friday, so we are able to discern what our governor says and what's on the ground. Please just give us your plan. Give us your plan for making sure that this works. Because if this is the only thing we achieve today, let it be that when this governor came to the Senate, it enabled the ICU to work maximally. Maximally. That is your word.
Yes,
give us your plan. Senator Cherargei?
Maybe, Governor, as you answer, when you say the ICU is not working optimally, how many patients can it handle now and how many should handle, number one? Number two, under management equipment scheme, you received the ICU, maybe dialysis machine and many others. How many equipments did you receive? And I believe you were in your first term when these medical equipment supplies were being done across counties. And number three, is there an issue of capacity in running this ICU? Because optimally means also that the patients could be there, but the technical know-how or technicality or the capacity of individuals running the ICU could not be there. Is it optimally in terms of people who run the ICU or optimally in terms of the patients? So how many does it handle now and how many should it handle at optimal? And whether the other support machines like dialysis, among others that are provided under medical equipment supplies. And on the issue of power and using alternative way, is these are things that you should explore, as Senator Onyonga said, like solar energy, among others, so that you can even save the cost of running some of these health facilities. And I think, Chair, since also the Senator is here, maybe out of being gracious to committee also, he might want to add something, because the governor said if you ask anybody in West Pokot, I believe including the senator, is aware that it's functional. So I know Senator Murgor might say something also, because he comes from that area, so that we get, and I think, Chair, looking at these projects, because governor has insisted that most of them are complete, I think we should make a priority in visiting West Pokot, among other regions, to see for ourselves. But Governor, please, as you answer those three of my questions, give us way forward that in the next 2 weeks, or the next 1 month, as Chair has proposed, let this ICU be functional, because you are the people who are abandoning Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. Because if you come to Kitale, the only MTRH is being overburdened, because if Kapenguria and your county is functional, Kitale, Nandi, Wasingishu district, we are overburdening Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, because if you are maximizing at Kitale or in Kapenguria, we would not have pressure to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. So kindly answer those three questions. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, before you answer, through you, Chair, the fourth one, you've got the three that Honorable Chiragay has raised. The fourth one is when we came to your county, what actually we also found out is that there was no oxygen during that time. And for you to hold and conduct operations for patients, or even people who have got chest infection and all that, or just in case COVID again comes, do you have an oxygen making machine that would supply you so that you are self-sufficient the way you should be? Thank you.
Just a second, Chair, kindly, and whether the HAB officers from Usmaili and your team, whether you have cited the functionality of this ICU. When did you last visit there? Have you visited before you came, or it has been some time? Thank you, Chair, through you, kindly.
OAG, then we'll hear from the governor, then from the senator.
Thank you, Chair. The last visit we had on the project was March this year, and it was not fully operational.
Okay, Governor, please respond to the issues raised by Senator Chiragay. Key of them was in terms of functionality, what is working and what is still pending, plus the other questions.
Chair, as I agree that it's not fully, but at the moment, 4 out of the intended 6 ICU, let me call it beds, or where a patient is supposed to get all full ICU services. So 4 are functional, but we are intended to have them 6.
Or 6.
I agree that issue of technical staff, and before I left 2017, I had taken some nurses for training on ICU services and dialysis. Dialysis is fully functional in Kapenguria, and was during my time I did build it. We no longer refer patients for dialysis in Eldoret or Kitale. But I want to promise that within 2 months, ICU will be optimal, because we have done now the payments for the upgrade of electricity to 3-phase. I also say that we have completed building an MRI block, which even yesterday, because I know MRI is very expensive, I also yesterday visited Safaricom, and they agreed to furnish it yesterday. So I'm certain that if we operational fully the ICU and the MRI building, which is complete now, even a team from Senate visited last year. It was attained, where we shall have also cancer screening section. That will really decongest Moi teaching and referral. In my first time, I had built an oxygen plan. It was not all that very big, but I did it. It is still working, but it was not well serviced when I left. Instead of using the gas cylinders and so forth, I had built an oxygen plant. I had also built a laundry machine. I had added more generator and so forth. All those things, building the KMTC to have a backup for the hospital, which is fully functional. I built the theater in Kacheliba, which was abandoned. So the mess equipments already are now taken to Kacheliba, which Mheshimiwa Senator Onyonka says they were being dumped in one place. Sigor is complete, theater also to decongest. Plus now the 40 dispensaries which have opened, one including in an area which was very much minor. It's called Masol Ward. I don't have the pictures, but somebody can promise. I was in December, November. I commissioned called Srumben. Very good project with water and everything. You know, one of the areas that are along the border of West Pokot and Turkana. So the only issue was issues of ICU to optimize it, but no steps were taken to train more staff. The ones that are there now were trained during my time. So I want to promise the committee that I will be operational within 2 months. I will be able to operational because Chair, I know the importance of that. But through the fact that devolution has really, it's not true that national government did better than the county governments. Because if you see even the number of staff, when I came in 2013, there were only 5 doctors in Kapingu. They have now 45 doctors with specialists, specialists on children, specialists on gynecology and so forth. There are so many of them now. Even some of the operations that have been done had not been done before devolution. So I want to say it's not true that county government have done, but we need to improve.
Yeah, please fix electricity.
Improve,
I don't know if a government in West Pokot cannot fix small things like electricity, then it leaves us wondering what else you can fix. Let me ask the senator on this particular matter on the ICU. Is it something that has come to your attention?
Thank you, Chair. We did make a visit when the health team went to West Pokot. We were there together. So as the governor says, it is minimally functioning, but you know that there is room for maximum. And so we still, for the balance, we still go to other places for help, like Eldoret and so on. So I would say generally the governor started well when he did. And then there was sort of a very slow situation that came in between. And I don't know whether it is because of the beginning of it has only been a year, but there is no stamina as much as it was in the first phase. Yes, that's what I can say.
So I think, Senator, we must join you in calling on the governor to prioritize this. You have said 2 months, and that is what we will capture, and that is what we must communicate, that within 2 months you must fix all those things that prohibit you from actualizing the full potential of the ICU. Remembering that you've been paying money to the national government for managed equipment scheme, money which is not delivering value to the people of West Pokot. Finally, Senator Cherargei.
Just a quick one, you know, Governor, I like listening very carefully. Which answer do you want us to take? You have said the previous administration did not continue, and I'm happy that you didn't construct NTC. We have been there severally with the president. But my concern only, which answer should we take? You have said there is challenge where the previous administration stopped training of and building capacity of people to run ICU and other medical equipments within the health sector. Now that you don't have capacity, why are you telling us that in the next 2 months you are going to fix? Because you can fix the technical part, but what about the human resource to run the ICU or the other equipments within? Because now you need to be very clear, because you can go and fix the issue of electricity and everything, but you don't have people who are competent to run. So which is which now? You need to be clear, because the moment we land in West Pokot, we shall come with your answer. If we walk in and you tell us the machines are functioning, but we don't have the capacity. So do you have the capacity of these individuals to run this? As you have said in the previous administration, they didn't carry on with the agenda you had of making sure that you have competent capacity in running the ICU.
Chair, when we fix the issue of electricity, which I'm going to fix, we shall maximize the staff that are there. But we have equally made arrangements, and some of the nurses are undergoing training, which I'm sure when they complete will also join the others. So I want to give that assurance that we have made arrangements for more staff that are undergoing training as nurses. But the ones that are there, we can still maximize when we fix the issue of maximum power and so forth. I'm sure we shall make use of that staff as we await the others to finish training.
You asked for 2 months. We shall give you 2 months without getting into the details, but please have some compassion. Have some compassion for the people of West Pokot and make sure this thing works within those 2 months. We go to the proposed construction. We go to projects under trade. Proposed construction of milk processing plant. Again, the key issue here is that the contractor has been paid 22 million or 78% of the contract sum as at May 2022, but the project remains incomplete by the time of audit. We have looked at your written response. You have confirmed that the project remains incomplete. Could you tell us why a project where you are paid 22.6 million is not offering value for money for the people of West Pokot? And this is a milk processing plant. And I believe that West Pokot, you've got a lot of pastoral activities. And a milk processing plant could be a way of plugging your livestock farmers into the formal economy. So why has the milk processing plant been stuck since May 2022, having spent 22.6 million?
Should I read the response or I?
Your response says that it's stuck. It does not give us the reasons why it's stuck. And that's why I'm asking, why is it stuck?
Yeah, Chair, it's true the project is stuck. And we have written, you see through my county attorney, he has written, he wrote last year why the contractor abandoned the site. The contractors refused to cooperate, and we were still looking for options to see what legal proceedings to do, because what the contractor is saying is that when the site was given to him, it was a bit, the ground after signing the contract, he used a lot of money in excavation and so forth. So he's saying the money that he is paid, the money that he has already taken and what is in the sum of the contract is not enough. So he's demanding variation, which we have not granted that variation, because if you see the pictures there, it is still a skeleton, and we realize that 22 million which has been used is quite a lot. The remaining 6 million will not complete the project, but the contractor is insisting that he incurred more costs, which one of my technical staff here, Mr. Odinga, can, because he was part and parcel of that, can be able to...
Where is the contractor's response to your letter of 3rd of May? We've got a letter of...
It's not there.
Did the contractor respond?
No.
So do you still consider him as a partner? Because this project was supposed to have been delivered on November 2021. November 2021.
Yes.
It was extended to June 2022. We are in February 2024. Na bado mnabembelezana. And this guy has been paid 22.6 million. Bado mnabembelezana. If this letter said that if you fail to provide a response within 7 days, then we shall exercise our option to terminate and sue you for loss and damages. Really, that was the right thing to do. So since 3rd of May 2023, what has happened?
Maybe it is, we have delayed in taking the steps, but we are still trying to get which option is the best option, because already the 22 million is a lot of money. Just
Yeah, and Governor, don't run away from this letter, because this letter was in the right path, and that is a path that we want to pursue. Senator Nyonka?
Your Excellency, I have been to your county. I'm constantly in West Pokot because I live in Trans Nzoia. What baffles me as a Kenyan and somebody who sits in this committee, the decision to terminate the contract or whatever you are going to do, I don't know, maybe I should ask the first, do you have the county attorney?
yes.
Is he around?
No.
Okay, that's another matter I'll discuss when you are finishing. Your Excellency, this issue, when you look at it, it actually means either you're not in control of your county, you actually don't know what's going on, or you are still fighting shadows of the past. That is the fear I'm having. Maybe you are not willing to destabilize the arrangements that Honorable former Governor Lonyangapuo had, and therefore you're trying to cover for him or whatever. For us, we don't care about those things. This is a project which is nearly complete. If this project doesn't get finished, in the next 10 years, it's going to be a white elephant. You would have put 22 million shillings into it. Commonsensically, there must be a solution to solving the problem. What is it that you intend to do to make sure that this milk processing plant is done? And like my chairman has said, these are the things that make some of us in this Senate wonder what happened to devolution. It's painful. Some of the things we are seeing, and you know, Governor, personally I have a very high regard for you because I know you personally. But look at this building. 4 years, nothing. The money has been paid. Then you come to this Senate and you're telling us you don't even know what to do.
Let me add so that Governor can add through the chair. It looks like, and that is why I thought through you, Chair, Senator Onyongo was on point by demanding where is the county attorney. Because it looks like West Pokot, everything is performed illegally. And you know the law does not allow an illegality, and ignorance of the law is not excused. Because looking at the way they have said performance bond was not renewed, number one. Another problem, Chair, which happened in other audit queries we have seen, is the says approved by the accounting officer was unprocedural and was not approved by the tender evaluation committee, yet over 78% has been paid. The total contract sum was 28.999 million against 22.6 million. So even looking at the audit, it was unprocedurally approved, which was an illegality. So I want to know who was the accounting officer who approved this unprocedurally, whether he's still with you at the county government or he was fired or any action was taken, number one. Number two, Governor, you should tell us where this accounting officer is, number one. Number two is whether when you came to office 1.5 years ago, whether you have done audit of the projects or project status implementation in partnership with the Office of the Auditor General and other stakeholders. Was there audit of these projects? Because you have indicated that most of the projects had stalled in your first term, the governor who took over after you. Was there an audit of the projects in West Pokot County so that you can tell this committee, when we did audit, like this governor, somebody should be in court, because this is an outright rip-off of your money and the people of West Pokot, and this contractor should be in court because you have paid 78%. And I thought by the time you do evaluation and award the contract under the procurement laws, they would have deposited, and you award somebody who has the ability to deliver. So this was a clear violation of contract, Chair, and it is disenfranchising the people of West Pokot. That is number two. Number three, and finally, Chair, is looking at the pictures that we have provided. You know, Senator Onyonga and myself, we have built some things, was including affordable housing. But we're looking at this thing, it does not even capture, even if you include the excavation cost, it does not look like 22-something plus million shillings. Unless the money value in Kenya has changed. Because, Governor, all of us who are seated here, at least we have built something, even if it is not something, even a cow shed or something. So you can tell the value of this thing. So, Governor, one thing you should do, and my advice, and I wish your county attorney was here, this, through you, Chair, this contractor should be investigated, he should be in court, terminate the contract he has violated, complete this project. Because as Governor, as Chair has said, West Pokot relies heavily on agricultural related economic activity, including preservation of this milk for the benefit of your farmers. Because if this milk cooling plant works, it works for the benefit of your people. And the economy will improve, because now milk will not be kept well, and then you sell to the, if it KCC and other people process. So, Governor, give us a roadmap. And Chair, we look at all other audit queries. The problem is everything is performed illegally in West Pokot.
In fact, that's why I wanted us to, because of time, and I don't want the government to respond immediately, but I want us to tie up with the issue of mangoes. So now you have failed to deliver a milk processing plant. Can we find out whether you've delivered the mango processing plant?
Including the honey.
Maybe mangoes might be easier to deal with than milk.
Or honey looks sweet, something like that.
So, on the mango processing plant, the Auditor General says the contractor has been paid 79% of the contract sum, which is 9.4 million. The contract period was irregularly extended by the Chief Officer Trade. The same thing that happened with the milk processing plant, without the recommendation of the Tender Evaluation Committee. The contractor had abandoned the site without completing the works as per the BQ. And a further 2.9 million has been paid to a local merchant for fencing the land. Governor, when are we processing mangoes in West Pokot?
And they are very sweet, Chair.
And then illegality also.
Yes.
Illegality.
In fact, the reason why I hadn't cited the other illegalities was I was hoping that you are going to tell us that the plant is ready. Then we deal with the procedural issues. Mango processing plant. What is your plan for ensuring there's value for money, having spent 12 million shillings?
Chair,
On milk, you have spent, is it 22, about 23 million or thereabouts. It could be more. On mangoes, you've spent 12. So that's 35 million shillings meant to maybe jumpstart the local economy, but there's nothing to show. What's your plan?
Chair, I want to say that these were good projects for the county. Even in my manifesto 2013-2017, these projects were part of my manifesto. And it's good that they were implemented in the last regime of my brother who was in the second term of the county government. But I can say before this committee that whatever I inherited was heavy. It was too much. I can say that without, there was too much mess. All projects that I left were abandoned. And I didn't see the reason why they were not completed. So when I came in, I'm trying to solve a big problem. Finishing the projects I started, some are not even complete now. And even in my predecessor's term, there were so many projects, including these ones, which most of them were done irregularly, because you have seen most of them were not followed. Even this one of mango, somebody has gone to court, and the county government has been defeated in court because the land was acquired without following the due process.
Then what did he do about it?
So, Chair, for being fair to me, I've tried to be reasonable, not to expose.
Expose. That is what we
say.
That's why you traveled here.
That's why you came here.
And say there was too much mess. But because I'm the governor now, I've tried to take responsibility. I've tried to take responsibility on all these 12 projects.
Governor, we hear your pain. We hear your pain. Give us your plan.
And I was coming on that,
Yes.
Chair. Bearing in mind that there's other competing projects of importance, and I have to take time to complete this project because there are also other services that I have to offer to people of West Pokot. Drugs have to be offered, water has to be offered, salaries have to be paid. So what I've done is to have a plan. It may not be this year, next year, but based on priorities. I'm now finishing the dispensaries. I've finished some of the water projects, like Sigor water project, which was abandoned. People are, that water project is going to complete, and I've opened some of the projects already.
I think restrict yourself to the mangoes and to the milk, the ones that are before us. On these particular matters where public resources have been spent, 35 million, but there's nothing.
I'm trying to answer, Chair, but at the same time trying to absolve myself, because I don't want to be seen that it's me.
No, we
with all this problem.
Governor, order, Governor. We knew where you were in the last term. You would appear before the Senate as a Chief Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Energy. So I don't think that we are unreasonable as to accuse you of some of these things. We know that. What we need to understand is, yes, the irregularities have been committed. The Auditor General has highlighted them. You agree. But your job is now to come up with a plan to get you out of the mess. That's where I want you to focus. We are not pinning you down on the illegality. But if you don't have a plan, then you are as guilty as the person who committed the first offense.
Chair, I think I have a plan. And that's why in my statement I've said I'm completing these projects, which some of these projects, like now the dispensaries, Propoi and so forth, I have a plan in completing, but on priority also. Some of these projects like now the mango, there's a court case which already we have my team, my legal team have challenged the ruling, because we understand that this is a communal land. But the person who took us to court, that this project was built in their ancestral land, won the case. So we are appealing. So that the project of mango will now depend on our appeal, because we can continue in the same place where we have issues of ownership of land.
On mangoes, I've noticed you didn't provide any photos. What is there on the ground?
It is there, Chair.
There are photos.
Is there.
Next.
And members, if you understand the plan, please help me understand it, because I've failed to understand the governor's plan. It does not seem to be very clear.
We have a photo and also the court ruling.
Annex
number.
Court rulings and appendix 23.
And are there photos?
The person who proposed that the land was theirs, was their ancestral land.
Are there photos so that we get an impression?
Yeah, there is one.
Yeah.
And this through you, Chair, this is how it looks.
Yes.
And what is the problem with it now?
We were taken to court, and the court ruled that the county government took land that belonged to somebody.
So if the court rules again that actually you lose this land, so somebody will take this building.
No, Governor, but is that the reason why the contractor left the site?
Yes.
Because that is the first issue. The contractor has been paid, the land has been fenced, but the contractor is not on site. What is the relationship between the contractor and the dispute in court?
Chair, when the person took the county government to court, legally the contractor cannot continue, because to ascertain whose land is the issue of the court.
How big is this land? What is the acreage?
I don't have the exact.
It's about
From the buildings.
70 acres.
70.
Yes.
Have you tried any other conflict resolution mechanisms, including negotiating and discussing, to seek whether you can get a better alternative out of what it is?
Yeah, after our appeal, because already it has gone to court.
Yes.
I think we shall have to see other alternatives, like outside the court.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Now, whereas you wrote a letter to the contractor in Kabichvich for non-fulfillment for the milk plant, I don't see any correspondences between the county and the contractor on the mango project. There's absolutely no evidence that the county government has followed up on that project. Except that whatever you're saying now is foreign to this committee. It is foreign to the Auditor General. There is nothing on record to indicate that you've been in consultation and communication with the contractor with regards to that project.
Chair, for the mango processing plan, the contractor is not the problem, unlike the Kabi Beach milk processing, because this one, if you see the photograph there, for the mango it is in an advanced stage, but if you see the milk building, it is a stage of, because it's just a structure, it's just a skeleton. But for the mango, the contractor was finishing. We are now installing electricity, and then the court case stopped the further construction of the mango. So to me,
Any record to that effect?
it's record on court injunction.
Where is it?
I think
Appendix 23.
it is in Appendix 23.
Yes.
Chair, looking at the pleadings,
Dated 29th of November 2023.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
When did the contractor leave site? As at the time of audit, the contractor was not on site.
correct.
This judgment had not been delivered.
Or he had it through osmosis.
Governor, please, this committee deals with facts. And that's why I keep insisting you should have brought this and that. I can see this is dated 2023 November. The contractor left site as at the time of audit. So they seem to be unrelated. What we are trying to push you to do, which we should not be pushing you to do, because the people of West Pokot have given you a mandate. I don't know, Senator, whether the mandate was for the governor to fix some of the problems around economic inclusion and empowerment. The senator for Baringo has brought a motion to the House that we should declare cattle rustling to be a national disaster. And when people discuss cattle rustling,